Oh God. All right, this is gonna go great. Today, we're answering the age-old question, what is better, a double pedal or a single pedal? Cue the intro. Hello, my beautiful friends. My name is Gabe Elguera from drumbeatsonline.com. So a few days ago, I put the question out on Instagram and I asked, what is better, a double bass pedal or a single bass pedal? And oh my good Lord, there were so many opinions. Now, this is a debate that I've heard in the rock drumming community or just in the drumming community in general for a really long time. Some people are super diehard single bass pedal. They'll never touch a double bass pedal because that's cheating. And then other people are super diehard double bass pedal and they don't want anything to do with single bass pedal. So today we are gonna do a proper debate where we are gonna run some tests to see if the double bass pedal can hold up within a single bass pedal world and vice versa. So first, let's take a look at what each of these things is known for doing. The double bass pedal is really prominent in the rock and more specifically metal world. And the single bass pedal is primarily known for being able to groove a little bit more and potentially be a little bit more creative behind the drum kit. So now let's duel it out. Let's start off in the double pedal territory where we play some metal grooves with the double bass pedal, and then we'll switch to a single bass pedal and see if we can play similar metal grooves and see if it sounds better, the same, or worse. So let's run test number one. Oh, I need water for this. Judgment is tough. So in this example, the double bass pedal really shines. We're able to do things that we just straight up cannot do with a single pedal. However, I think when we play it with a single pedal, we can still get a pretty decent sound and we are able to replicate it to a certain degree, but not all the way. So the winner of test number one, I believe to be the double bass pedal. However, it is now time for the single pedal's rebuttal. So like I said, the single pedal is known for making things groove a little bit. So now let's run test number two, where we try to play a groove with a single pedal and then see if we can play a similar groove or maybe even add upon that similar groove with the double bass pedal. Let's check it out. Now in this test, I think the beat with the single pedal grooved really nicely. And you know what? Trying to incorporate the double bass pedal was a little bit more intriguing than I was expecting it to be. To my surprise, I did feel like I was able to add a little bit to the groove with the double bass pedal. However, I will say that it felt a little unnecessary overall. If I were to look at both grooves, I think the subtlety and the nuance and maybe just the lack of notes on the single pedal felt a little bit better to me overall. However, like I said, I was surprised what we were able to do with the double bass pedal without just making things feel super straight. But in test number 2, I'm gonna give it to the single pedal. Okay, so right now we are tied neck and neck under the category of what they are known for doing. But now let's take a look at some of their strengths and weaknesses. I would say one big strength of a double bass pedal is that we are able to add power and speed to our overall fills and grooves. So now let's do a test where we do a 4/2 fill pattern with a double bass pedal, and then we'll try that same pattern with a single pedal and see what the differences are there. Check it out. So obviously in this example, the double bass pedal just had more power and we were able to play at faster speeds than we were with the single pedal. Unfortunately, there is a threshold on how much power we can get on our double strokes on a single pedal at super high speeds. Of course, there are some people who are masters at this, but I think overall, the double bass pedal is going to take it in the power and speed category. Now for test number 4, a lot of people claim that you are able to be a little bit more creative with a single pedal. Sometimes the limitations of not having 2 bass pedals can force you to be more creative behind the drum kit. So now let's run a test where we can see what type of creative things we can play with a single pedal, and then see if we can play something equally as creative with the double bass pedal. Let's check it out. So this is an interesting category because on the one hand, you would have people saying, oh, you're more creative with the single pedal. You now have the incorporated use of the hi-hat in your fills, and the limitation really breeds creativity. But then other people could say, well, the double bass pedal has now been a resource to add a new element to my overall playing, allowing me to be more creative. So this is actually extremely nuanced, and I think completely depends on the drummer and what they are spending their time working on. So for that, I'm gonna give both sides a point. All right, one of the last and final tests that I wanna run is a lot of people say that the double bass pedal can be used as a crutch. If you haven't really focused on the single pedal and worked on it well, and you move to the double bass pedal too quickly, then you might rob yourself of being able to play certain beats to the full capacity that they could be played in. More specifically, I'm talking about double strokes. So being able to play a double stroke with a single pedal and not having to rely on the double pedal. So let's see, is this actually a big deal? Does it make a difference in your beat by being able to play a double stroke on a single pedal compared to playing a double stroke on a double pedal? Let's run test number 5 and find out. So in this example, I definitely feel like the double stroke on the single pedal felt the best. I think there's absolutely a difference in feeling strictly by hearing the same beater hit the head rather than two different beaters. So for this category, I'm going to give a point to the single pedal because I do think it is really important to be able to master your double strokes on single pedal without having to rely on the double bass pedal for that. So here we are all tied up between the single and the double bass pedal, and that's where I'm gonna leave it. And that is because I believe there are genuinely so many benefits to being able to play with a single pedal and a double pedal. And I do think that one can be better than the other, but it all depends on the situation or the context that you are in. There's so much nuance to this, and it also depends on the player as well. But at the end of the day, I absolutely don't believe that it's cheating to use a double bass pedal because there are certain patterns that you can just only play with a double bass pedal. And if that allows you to have new opportunities, then I think you should explore those opportunities. But in certain situations, it might feel better to just use a single pedal. In those situations, I think you should absolutely do that too. So this was a really fun and enlightening experiment that I had a lot of fun making, but which team are you on? Are you on team single pedal or team double pedal? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully I will see you in another lesson very soon. And as always, stay true and I'll see you. Bye.